Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today is Chuck Brome and Cheryl Cullers, and they're from the South Warren Ruritan Club. Got that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to talk about is one of their fundraising activities, and that is the spaghetti dinner, and it's coming up Saturday, April the 9th. And we're going to talk about that because nothing better than spaghetti dinner and nothing better than the South Warren Ruritan. So first of all, tell us a little bit about what are the Ruritans. So then we don't hear much about of it anymore.
Sure. Ruritan is an organization founded in 1928 in Virginia. I want to say it's not Dublin, Virginia. It's another community down in South Central Virginia. In 1928, so it's over 100 or about 100 years old. It's mostly in the southeastern United States, and it's less driven by the national organization than by the individual clubs. That may be why you don't hear so much. Right. There's no national objective.
Pushing the agenda there.
Exactly, but there are 300 or 400 clubs at least across the country. In most of them in Virginia, but lots through the Carolinas and the Midwest. There may even be a chapter in California. It's sort of, and it's divided into zones and regions, that kind of thing. But fellowship, goodwill, and community service is the motto of the organization. And this event that we're talking about today is for scholarships. That is, we have a separate fund, in fact, in our club treasury, devoted just to scholarships, and all the proceeds from this dinner on Saturday, and we've done it 16 years now.
Right, I can remember doing your placemats there for a lot of years.
Yeah. So this year it's a freewheel offering. We did not have the manpower, frankly, to sell tickets, and we thought, well, let's see what people would do. We had found in recent years that people would sometimes say, we'll keep the change on an $8 dinner, passing us a 10, that kind of thing. So we're hopeful.
Right. Well, I found that out is when on some of the, we do a lot of our music friends, that are making our CDs and things we do for them. And I tell them, I know you're trying to sell CDs or trying to sell calendars. We talked to people at Browntown. I said, quit trying to sell calendars. It's a fundraiser. And as soon as you put a price on something, then that's what people look at. But if you go and says, hey, we're providing this for you, you pay what you can, we're asking a donation, a lot of times you'll end up with twice as much as what you did when you try to sell something, because people want to help you, people like you, and the dinner or the CD or whatever it is just kind of like an extra little bonus there. So I think you'll find out this year you probably will do better. It's for a good cause. It's for scholars. These are for our local high school students.
All the money we raise will stay in Warren County.
That's the great thing about this particular event. We're not, I know some organizations, the national organization takes a big chunk out of it, kind of like Girl Scout cookies. We won't mention the Girl Scouts, but that's what we do. So. They just get such a small amount, but this way here, 100% of it's going to go right back into. Yes. And you had some great sponsors that help you?
Yes, a lot. Bankers, insurance companies, auto repair places, auto dealerships.
Sure.
And your company here is printing out our booklet, which will have the history of South Warren's Ruritan Group and all those people that bought an ad to go in that. And I'm sure, as usual with everything you do, it's going to be a really nice lay. It's going to be
Amanda's doing you a great job.
Yep.
And she sent Chuck the proof here today, and you're going to look at that and get it approved right away because
we got to get it out.
You've got to start the presses rolling. Exactly. Yeah.
The event is this Saturday.
Yes, it is. So, and we are such a small group. We have less than.
We have 10. We lost a member last week. So we have 10 members, and one of those members is an associate, my wife.
Right.
So we've got 9 active members.
What we're going to try to do here is drum up some new members.
We would love to have new members. Absolutely. Because we don't overwork anyone. We meet once a month at a church. It's a church dinner meeting, so there's always good food.
That's how you get people to come, because you have
fantastic
the
food.
It's a dinner meeting monthly, yes.
And we do the spaghetti dinner, which COVID knocked it off for a couple of years, but we do the spaghetti dinner. And then we have some other things that we do as far as our community outreach. We do community table twice a year, which is it's a little work, but it's a lot more pleasure knowing that you're doing something to give back to
I
the
think
community.
so. People like that. If you're doing, yeah, people.
we,
I always tell people they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Well,
So we need to.
We
show
have a
that.
lot of nonprofits that Habitat to Humanity. If we have extra money, after we do 3 scholarships, and we give them out to each of the high school, one each high school, and then we have an alternate that can come from either one of the high schools.
Okay.
So
and you
we'll
can
give 3 scholarships.
What
That's
do you
right.
think you'll get this year? I mean, what's the dollar amount you shooting for?
These we've had because we went 2 years without the fundraiser, 2020 and last year. We had to rely on a reserve we had and even take some out of club reserves
Right.
but we were able to keep the scholarships going. We reduced it from $1,500 each of the scholarships to $1,000.
Right.
And we're hoping next year, and maybe even this year, depending on how this Saturday goes, that we'll move it back up. But we'll have a reserve in any case for future disruptions
Sure,
like the pandemic, you know.
Well, there's $3,000 at least
That's
that you're
right.
going to give out.
Exactly.
You know, $1,000 goes a long way, especially someone going to a community college or just getting their, touching their toe into higher education. And there's a lot of families that $1,000 means a lot.
Yes.
Well, we had one recipient last year that's going to trade school. He's going to was it
It's
NASCAR
the NASCAR Academy. I think it's in the Carolinas.
That's got to be in the
someplace.
Carolinas, yes.
And this is how to become a pit crew person
There you go.
in NASCAR. They have an academy to teach people,
Right,
and
right.
this young man went to a trade school with some help from us.
All right, so you don't have to go to college. That's great.
That's
No.
right.
Before we go on and talk about the spaghetti dinner again and how great this food's going to be, let's talk a quick minute about the scholarship. How do people go about applying, and what are we looking for, and when's the deadline of that?
Well, the guidance departments at each school helps us. You know, they have an awards
Right,
night
I know
in,
they
in
have
May and all of
yeah.
that. So they will put out
All the details of
the
that.
flood
Well, what
of
do we look? What do you look for when you get these applications? I mean, they write you a letter and they tell us stuff. Or,
We ask that each applicant submit, of course, their high school transcript. If they've taken SAT kinds of tests, that
Sure.
they give us their score. We like to see class rankings. I mean, all of that's the numbers part. The other part is how much are they contributing to the community, which puts them
Right.
their spirit in meshing with ours, helping the community, active in the school community, or with churches and,
Sure,
and,
sure.
and so on. And we're not interested in boosting kids way at the top who are going to be obvious, easy candidates for large awards
sure.
or come from particularly well-to-do families. We're interested in helping people that have some need. So it's a mix of those things: academic achievement for sure, and motivation, and some need a little bit. You know,
Sure, sure.
this is going
You got a
to.
little different than some scholarships. Like, I'm the valedictorian, so I'm going to get 1,200
No.
scholarships.
Yeah.
So you got a chance. I mean,
Yeah,
Sure.
no, we look at all of those, and then we split up. I was on one committee that looked with Mrs. Logan, who's a member, and then I forget you did with another member.
I was with, I think Rick and I did the other school. So I've already got the applications. I have been traditionally the scholarship chairman. I'm also
Okay.
the club secretary. But we've got 22 applications. I think 8 applications from Warren County High School and 14 8 from Skyline High School and 14 from Warren County High School. And they've been pre-screened a little bit. Some of the same sorts of things are done by the guidance department, I think. I mean, there are
Right,
probably 50 students in each class.
right. Everybody applies, but
Yeah, if they have aspirations.
But they don't always read what the rules are.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Well, it's a great work, and I do know that people appreciate these scholarships and things you're going. But let's get back to the food, and this is, so tell us a little bit about what's on the menu.
Well,
What
we've
goes in
got-
spaghetti dinner? Spaghetti?
You've got the meat sauce spaghetti, and
Right.
for the non-meat eating, we've got the without the meat. We'll have salads, bread,
Bread and
desserts, and drinks, of course.
We'll have iced tea and lemonade probably.
Yeah,
And
that's what you
probably water.
typically
And,
get.
and water. Yeah.
Yeah. I always
then-
love going to the spaghetti warehouse because, the menu is simple. like I said, meat, no meat, sausage, or and Italian or whatever they had. Very limited menus, but
Yeah.
it's like all you can eat. Is that
Yeah,
what?
Yes,
it's
it
all
is.
you can eat.
Yes, it is.
And then we're going to have music by Passage Creek Rising, and
Right.
a lot of people like them.
Yeah.
And then John Kovac,
Oh yes,
the harpist.
And whoever he's with, frequently his wife accompanies him.
Right.
Sometimes he'll have another
Right.
person or two, a guitar player.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very talented. He's created these harps out of PVC pipe. I always thought that
Yes.
was amazing. When
I think he was selling a how to make your
Yeah,
own
he did that, and
kit or plan and set.
he's always tinkering with some idea, but he's great. It's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And
great. To
I
do.
guess we need to put that it's at Skyline High School in
Yes.
the cafeteria, 4 to 7. We're going to have bake sales, and for anybody who's been there before, I think Miss Miller is making cakes, and they're awesome cakes.
So like you could buy a whole cake.
Yeah.
It'll be an auction. It'll
Yeah.
be
Oh, an auction.
someone, an MC, will walk around and say,
yeah.
and we'll have 3 or 4 cakes like that, perhaps celebrity cakes we call
Right.
them.
Yeah.
The cakes will be desserts too, and those are fixed by the same churches that host us for our meetings.
Right.
The ladies of those churches are making sheet cakes that we could serve up as dessert for all the attendees.
Well, it sounds like really good.
I think we'll
I've
have
heard
some
great things
yeah.
about it. I've always had.
Well,
the-
you'll have to come out.
Have to come out
I'm
and
going
do
to
it.
try to get there. Maybe I'll bring my camera this time and we'll do something. But yeah, I think it's a great thing. There's just so much stuff goes on in our community. We just don't. A lot of people don't really realize it. And if you look at our event calendar, it's just loaded up with stuff to do. And last weekend we were at the farmers market and then went down to something else and went over here to the football camp. And I
Well,
just
if you've
ran
got
out
a
of
lot of
time.
things on your schedule,
And the 9th, there's a lot of stuff going
yeah,
on. But
then you
but this
don't
is
have
at the
time
end
to
of the day.
cook.
Right. This is at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
it should
Yeah.
be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been busy
Soccer
all
will be
day.
over.
That's
Just
right.
don't worry about cooking. Just come out. We will fix your meal. And then you can go home, put your feet up after eating all that spaghetti and relax.
Right.
Take a little nap before you go to
Yes.
bed. Yeah.
That's right.
We are planning to sell flower baskets. It may not happen, but we believe it will. Mother's Day weekend.
Right.
It'll be the Saturday preceding Mother's Day, which is on a Sunday. I want to say 7th or 9th.
Right. I
I'm
think
not
it's the
entirely
7th.
certain.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that weekend. Yeah.
And
So-
that'll be at the True Value Hardware store in their parking lot. We have tried to do that every year,
Right,
and
I
I
remember
think
that.
we've done the last couple of years, and we're going to do it again this month or next month. I should say.
It's easy to buy those because you just drive up, give them your money, and take it away. Right?
Absolutely. And hopefully Mother Nature settles down the wind and warms up a little bit and everybody's out doing their thing and drives by and can stop and get Mother the present that you forgot about until that time of day.
Yeah.
We won't talk about how many times we've done that, right? But no, it's a great thing, and people love those flower baskets. But they also love your spaghetti dinners too.
Yes.
So that's this Saturday, the 9th, at Skyline High School. Starts at 4 o'clock
4
to 7
o'clock to
o'clock.
7.
All you can eat spaghetti, so you can't go wrong. And it's for a good cause. And this year, it's donation. So bring those $20 bills and just give them a 20. I think that's what we want.
Don't have to worry about change that way.
That's right. We don't want change. It's $20. You can put up a little sign. Most donations accepted. $20 would be great.
And all the proceeds does stay in Warren County. We don't send the money out of the county.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about this particular organization and event. This is a local organization that puts out for local scholarships, and I think that's a great idea.
And if
Here,
we
here,
have any
yeah.
left over in the past, we've helped out the Habitat for Humanity. I wished I had the whole list, but a lot of
I
things.
saw seeing
Yeah.
your name there on a lot of these activities.
Yeah.
So we'll promote that. We'll see what it is. We'll put the information below the video. Check it out. You don't have to buy a ticket. Just show
Nope.
up. Bring your $20. We're going to push this $20.
All right.
So come on, buy into it. And
We appreciate what
Yeah.
anybody.
Chuck says,
and if you
only
don't,
20? Why can't it be?
well, we want people to understand if
Pay what you can
anyone,
afford. Exactly.
absolutely,
Right.
Nobody's going to go away hungry.
That's right. Don't think about it. You pay what you can afford. If you can afford more, you pay more. You afford less, pay less. If you got a
Yeah.
whole bunch of kids, we'll just
That's
we'll,
right.
We'll feed them.
Absolutely, no one will go away hungry.
That's great.
Unless you get there at 7 o'clock and we've had a really good turnout.
Yeah.
And then
Then we
the
don't.
doors are locked. You're late.
Then we
then we don't
apologize.
feed ourselves at that point.
Absolutely.
But we have typically 200, 250 people
Yeah.
come to these,
Yeah.
either prepaid or paying at the door. And this time it's all at the door.
Right.
And it's a free will offering only. So
Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
and I hope people, the community, I know will come forward, but we're gonna give them a little nudge and put a little salt in the oats and see if they'll drink. You know, that's how we deal with horses. You know, that won't drink, right?
Yeah,
salt
put a
in
little
it.
salt in there and it makes them thirsty. So, yes.
So
Well,
we'll
we
do that.
appreciate
Well,
you.
no, I appreciate all the things you do, and you do, Chuck. I know it's a lot of stuff as we get older and we semi-retire. You know, we think of some things to do. So if you're just looking for something to do, think about the South Warrenton Ruritan Club, and you can find all about them. We'll give you that information, but just head on over to that spaghetti dinner.
Skyline High School.
At Skyline High School this Saturday, 4:00. You can't miss it. You'll get some great spaghetti, and you'll meet some great people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Come join us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you
Please
so
come
much
join
for
us.
coming in.
Thank you. We appreciate
Thanks.
you doing this.
Thank you.